My name is ddronyk. It's an old Celtic name, but I'm Dutch and nobody can say it in my homeland either. We immigrated from Amsterdam to Abbotsford in 1970 and hopscotched around southern BC. For half my childhood, we lived off the grid in the mountains. This taught me resilience and a deep love for the wild. I live in Calgary now, the best part of which is its proximity to the Rockies. I was widowed at 27 and have 3 grown kids who I adore. A few years ago, I got married again. I love to cook and hike and bake and garden. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been a camp cook, a journalist, an editor, a barmaid, and a mediator. I loved Kahane's concept of Hollands in his book Collaborating with the Enemy. It struck me that Hollands also describe how the different perspectives of my eclectic work history have influenced my whole. Books and story have been an obsession since I can remember. In my secret non-corporate life, I am a poet and a publisher. My passion for story goes hand in glove with being a mediator and a community engagement consultant, which is how I've earned a living for the past 2 decades. I've always been rabidly curious about people's stories, listening for how they see themselves and the world. The stories we tell ourselves have a profound influence over how we react or respond to a conflict, too. In my work as a volunteer mediator for the Alberta Justice Civil Court Program, for example, I notice how one party's narrative of being the victim and the other party being the villain play out over and over. As the eldest in our blended family, I was always the peacemaker. I took my first mediation course in 1999 by fluke. In my job as emergency planner, I'd been meeting with thousands of angry landowners across northwestern Alberta where I lived. My client was building a controversial sour gas plant. I got the job also by fluke, as I knew nothing about sour gas or emergency planning or public consultation. But I was good at it, at managing the conflict. I empathized, listened, and valued their concerns. And I knew I needed better tools, not just intuition and the skin of a rhino. Lucky for me, an ADR pilot project launched in Grand Prairie, and I knew I'd found my calling. In 2012, I earned my Qualified Mediator designation, and in 2017, I served as a mentor at Alberta Justice. I'm here to re-examine and refine my conflict resolution skills and knowledge. It is a vocation of continuous learning and reflection. Second, in a world where algorithms filter out resumes, earning a degree may open doors currently closed to me. I am keenly aware of how my lack of formal education has marginalized my choices. Applying to Royal Roads under the flexible admissions program left me feeling quite vulnerable. I dropped out of high school 40 years ago and started working full-time. Along the way, I studied journalism, creative writing, business, and conflict resolution. Finding proof of that lifelong learning journey was a challenge. But it also reminded me, again, how lucky I am to have studied life through so many different lenses. And so the adventure begins. Right now, I feel overwhelmed and consider quitting about 17 times a day, and then I take a deep breath and keep slogging. I'm grateful that our program values a diversity of approaches to conflict resolution. I look forward to learning with and from all of you. I hope our time together will help us all achieve competence and artistry as mediators.